Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Oh my gosh, I am so excited to be doing this video. So many things to talk about in this video, so make sure you grab yourself a cup of tea, get yourself comfortable because it's gonna be a long one, guys, but a good one. Long but good. Okay, so first of all, the other weekend I was at the Stitchroom Sewcial 2019. I loved it. I did not think it was possible that it could be any better than it was before. Guess what? I was wrong. Lucy and Anne and Bee, they outdid themselves again this year, and the experience was even more amazing. So I'm gonna share some of the highlights with you. If I talked you through every single thing that was amazing about it, this would be an hour, 2 hour long video. So I'm just going to keep it short and just focus on the highlights of the Stitchroom Sewcial 2019. So do remember to also stay tuned until the end, because I am doing a 10K subscriber giveaway in conjunction with SEWESSENTIAL. Plus, there's also going to be a discount code. How amazing is that? But first of all, let's dive into the Stitchroom Sewcial. So yeah, first of all, they doubled the capacity. So go Lucy. Thank you so much for doing that, because I had such a great time last year. I kind of felt like I wished there were more people there because it's such a fantastic event. And so they doubled the capacity. So we had 2 sewing rooms this time around, and it's in Loughborough, at the University of Loughborough, and it also coincides with the arts degree show, which is where the graduating students are showing their final year products. And it's amazing. It's basically like going to an art gallery and you're seeing what these young, incredibly creative kids are producing. And that is one thing that I absolutely appreciate about that show. In fact, so much so that we've agreed with my husband that next year we're going to try and bring him along just so that we can do the show together. I don't know how that's going to work out. It's just an idea out there. But yes, so there is the show, which is a part of the experience. You can go off and you can actually get to see the things that are created within the Arts and Design Center at Loughborough University. Okay. So we got there and it was lovely, as you do obviously when you are around sewing people. Is just amazing. And we had name tags, so it was kind of easy to know who was who. One fun thing about these get-togethers actually is you get so used to knowing somebody either by their Instagram handle or by their blog name. And some people, they start off with a blog name that is nothing to do with their personal lives, because of having that separation between the personal life and the blogging creative side of it. And so you're kind of like, oh, hey there, Gem Tart, etc. Hey there, So Inspiro. It's quite funny. But yeah, so again, this year they made like these really wonderful acrylic necklaces that say Stitchroom Sewcial, and we all got one of those with our name tags. And then it was time to go and see the sewing rooms that we were using. This year they had a FAF person come over with all of their super duper awesome FAF sewing machines. Now I have a FAF cover lock machine, so I was like, oh, do you have the cover locks, because you can then show me how to use them. Sadly they didn't have them, but never mind, next year. I was kind of like saying to you, next year bring it. And so you got a chance to actually sew with some of these machines. So there were FAFs, there were Beninas, there were Brother Innovis. And this year I particularly wanted to try out a Benina sewing machine, because I'm I'm not even going to go there. But yeah, I got to try out a Benina 1000 and I was like, yeah, that is pretty awesome. Okay, so I was ambitious. I took along 2 sewing projects. So you kind of have to bring your own projects with your own scissors and pins and things like that, and your own threads, and then you have the machine to use. I was incredibly ambitious. I did learn from last year, because last year I actually took fabric to cut out, and that did not go well, because both of the projects that I cut out there, I made some silly mistakes, like cutting out something on the fold rather than 2 separate pieces. One I got away with, the other one I didn't manage to get away with. So this time I was like, no, I'm not going to do any cutting out, because I can't do the whole cutting out and chatting with people. I'm just going to take some unfinished projects to finish them over there, so things that were already cut out. Now, your girl here has got a box, a brown box, where she puts cutout projects, and then it's completely covered over and then it's forgotten about. But then I remembered that I still had that. So I thought instead of cutting out a new project just to take the Stitchroom Sewcial, I have to go through my UFO box, which I did the day before. It was very disheartening, guys. It was very, very disheartening because I'm an out of sight, out of mind kind of person. So I need to figure out a way of working through all of these things that I cut out when I was doing the batch process of sewing. So batching doesn't really work for me. I've realized that now. So anyway, so I took 2 projects because I was like, yeah, I should be able to do this. You know, one is a top and one is a simple shift dress pattern. Did I finish those projects? You have to wait until the end to find out. Anyway, so yeah, so I had these 2 projects and we were they did the health and safety talk about how you use the industrial ironing boards and the industrial machines if you wanted to use the industrial machines as well. And then at the time of paying and booking for your tickets, you got to choose what workshop you wanted to go to. They had photography, digital photography, and you could bring along your DSLR camera. They also had print, which I did last year and was incredibly amazing and transformational for me. They also had weave, where you'd get the opportunity to use the looms to make your own piece of cloth. And they also had free motion embroidery, which I don't know, I'm pretty sure some of you know what that is. I'm still not too clear on what that is. But I decided, so this was back in March or February, sort of like end of March, beginning of February, when the tickets were sold. And so in the moment, I was like, I want to try something that I've never tried before. Last year I did printing and that was amazing. Let me try something else. And so I thought I'm going to sign up for weave because that is something that I have never done. And so I signed up for it, and yeah, and so I had my my workshop in the afternoon. So in the morning you got to, you know, start sewing, pick your sewing machine, and also the goodie bags. Oh my gosh, how can I forget the goodie bags? Yeah, so there's this table, right? And it's full of bags, goodie bags. Last year we got 1 goodie bag. This year there was 3 goodie bags. 3 goodie bags. And I'll do a short section where I show you the stuff that we got from the goodie bags. So that was like, awesome. Okay. And so my workshop was on the Friday, because the 2-day event is over the Friday and the Saturday. Mine was on the Friday afternoon. So I rocked over, and Rosie Appleton, who showed us around last year, she had set up the looms for us. So we didn't have to do the hard work of actually setting it up. So forgive me for anybody who actually does weaving if I come across as saying, oh, it's so easy, I found it so easy. That's because, you know, everything was set up for us. But that was my favorite part of the entire event, actually getting to grips with doing the weaving. So we had the opportunity to try different types. So there was like twill, your normal weave, herringbone, etc. I somehow ended up on a loom where you could do what are called floats. And for those of you who are familiar with knitting, it is quite similar to the floats that you get in knitting. So I started playing around, and you could pick your own colors of thread to see what you wanted to make. We couldn't choose, I can't remember what it's called now, but in fabric, you've got the thread that goes sort of like along the straight grain, and then you've got the thread that's sort of like woven through. So we couldn't choose the fabric that went along the straight grain because that was already on the loom, and mine was white. And I sort of picked some reds and pinks, and then I also picked some blues and turquoises, and I was just having fun with it. Now, the workshop itself was about 2.5 hours long, and by the end of it, I felt like I was beginning to get into the rhythm. And it is hard work because you're doing this thing where you have to bash the thingy majiggy. I do not know what the technical terms are, so forgive me again. But I was just, you know, and then you have to thread it through, and then you bash again, and then you thread it through and lift the things. And I just, you know, by the end of it, that's when I was beginning to get, you know, the movements. And it was quite meditative and zen, like once I started understanding it. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. The weave workshop, this is what I made, guys. I made my own piece of chambray fabric. Look at, I love this. I feel like I should do my own little fabric haul for this, but let's see if I can get it to zoom in. So I am so incredibly proud of this. So this was me using like a different turquoisey color thread, and then this one was something else. But on the surface of it, it actually looks like a chambray. Like I made a chambray fabric. And these were the floats that I sort of played around with. And I started off doing like a red and purple and aubergine, and then I decided to go with the blues. But yeah, freaking hard work though. This is 2 hours, 2 hours of work, 2 hours of work. So yeah, and the idea is I'm gonna make like a little bag out of it because there isn't a lot. But yeah, just like a little bag. Either that or I'll frame it as the very first fabric that I ever made. So that was an incredible experience. Needless to say, I did walk away kind of looking on eBay if there were any secondhand looms available. This could easily be a rabbit hole that I could go down. But yeah. So that was the workshop that I did. Other people did the photography, and they were saying that they picked up a lot of tips and tricks about how to use their DSLRs. And when I saw some of the stuff that came out of the print workshops, I was like, wow, would have loved to do that. And the embroidery workshop as well, the free motion embroidery workshop. Yeah, and I was working on my project, and I was getting a lot of help with my project and chatting and getting to know people and seeing some beautiful fabrics. We were seeing so many beautiful fabrics. And coincidentally, on the same table that I was at, Heather was also there, and she was working on her project address using the same fabric that I was working on, and we both bought it from last year. When we went to the Stitchroom Sewcial. So, and I'm just going to show you on there the dress that she made because it was just like amazing, and I love the pattern. I was like, I should probably try it. And basically the thing is with Heather, right, her taste in fabric is immaculate, and every time I see her wearing something that she's made or some fabric that she's got, it's like, yeah, I want that fabric, you know, I'm not stalking you or anything. But it's just like fabric choices are amazing. So, I mean, that was the other fun part, getting to see all of these different fabrics. It's like, oh, wow. Beautiful. Okay, so that was Friday. Done. Came to an end around 5 o'clock, and then we went to our respective hotels, and I went to check in. Now, this weekend that we were at the Stitchroom Sewcial coincided with the Download Festival. So even way back in February, when I tried to book my accommodation, the place that I had stayed at the last time was fully booked because they were saying that, you know, everybody's coming in for the Download Festival. And it was quite hard for me to find somewhere that was reasonably priced because, you know, I value my money. And I wasn't going to pay 3-4 times as much as last year. But I did find a little guest house that was about 5 miles away from the town center. And it was just nestled in the middle of green fields. It took about 15 minutes to drive to get there, but it was really nice. So I had to drive 15 minutes over there to find the place in the first place, check in, and I just felt really exhausted. I was like, oh, and I chilled for a bit, had a ruffle through the goodie bags, and then freshened up to go for the evening meal. Hi guys, it's Saturday morning now. It's around 5 a.m. and I woke up because I'm super excited. It's day 2 of the Stitchroom Sewcial. Yesterday we got the goodie bags, which amazing, absolutely amazing. I did some weaving. I made a little piece of fabric, guys, that looks like chambray and it's really nice, but I feel absolutely shattered. Yesterday was pretty full on. It was Friday. I woke up at 5 a.m. and I had to drive all the way down to Loughborough. Totally worth it. And so it was just go, and met so many wonderful people. They doubled the capacity this year. And I can't tell you how wonderful it is to be surrounded by just, so many sewing people. There's so much love and warmth and fuzzies. Um, and it was just go, 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 go until we broke up at just after 5 o'clock, went back to our hotels, kind of like got dressed, freshened up, and headed back to a restaurant where we all met up and we had some delicious, delicious food. I had some halloumi fries and king prawns, spicy king prawns, and then the other ladies at my table had some dessert, and I was like, nah, I gotta have some of that brownie stuff. It's just delicious. The company was outstanding, and we were just sitting and chatting until nearly 10 o'clock. And then I got back and I went to bed, which is like a lot later than what my normal bedtime is. So yeah, I am knackered, but I am glowing. I am happy. I am grateful to have had the chance to go to this wonderful session, and I'm buzzing with so many ideas, and so much creativity is springing forth from me from being surrounded by all these wonderfully, incredibly talented women. And yeah, I just wanted to take a minute and record it whilst I was still in the morning. I just literally just woke up, and this is what your girl looks like when she isn't at home. But yeah, I'll try and record some more sessions today on Saturday, which is the last day, sadly. Wish they made it longer. Make it longer, guys. Make it longer. Today there was more sewing, and I went around the Degree Arts show with Cara, and it was, we really had a fantastic time. Made me realize that I need to do more stuff like that, going to galleries with people who share similar passions. It was very, very enjoyable, and I took loads of pictures of loads of inspirational things. I mean, it is amazing what these young people are creating, and again, always so inspiring. Made me think that I probably need to do a bit more than just sew up a pattern according to the instructions. And I'm kind of thinking about how I can add more creative elements to what I do, right? Then what else? On Saturday, there was also a fabric and pattern swap, so you could bring things over to kind of like help you with decluttering your things. So I'm very happy to report that I brought back less than I took there, and I just wanted to show you some of the patterns that I picked up from there. Okay, so I picked up Simplicity 8511 because it's got raglan sleeves. I'm kind of going through a raglan sleeve phase at the moment. And then there was this Vogue Attitudes, which I think is kind of like a Vogue designer style, but it's got a really interesting bodice line. I was like, yeah, no, I could definitely try that. This one is an Oscar de la Renta. I'm not sure. I hope I can make this, but I have to admit a part of me was just kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna own an Oscar de la Renta, because it kind of rolls off your tongue, Oscar de la Renta. And oh, there's another Vogue Attitudes pattern here. So what I thought was really interesting about this is it's kind of like a jacket with a tail, but then you tuck the tail into the pocket. It's very difficult to see, but I'll see if I can take a picture and then include it on there. So that's all that I got from the fabric and pattern swap. So I'm like super proud of myself for that, for coming back with much less than I went with. And yeah, so there was that. And then the second half of the afternoon, there was a talk from the winner of season 2 of the Great British Sewing Bee, Heather Jacks. And that woman is incredible. She was witty, she was charming, engaging, she was funny, laugh out loud, hilarious. And it was, she was talking about her experience of the sewing bee. And yeah, the entire time, I didn't even realize that she'd been talking for over an hour because it was that engaging. And then afterwards, I was just like constantly asking questions because, I really enjoyed that season of the Great British Sewing Bee. I think it's the one that stuck the strongest in my memory because it was one of the ones that actually inspired me to sort of start thinking about sewing garments as well. So I had a little bit of a fangirl moment, and I asked my friend Becca to do like a pap shot of me. I was like, Becca, I'm just gonna go and say, and just say a few words to her saying thank you, and I want you to take some pictures, in a non-creepy way, just take some pictures. And she did, and she took some pictures. So that was the thing. And what else? Yes, we also had there were also some of the participants from season 5 of the Great British Sewing Bee. Now, this was a little bit embarrassing because I must be the only person in the sewing community who did not watch the Great British Sewing Bee season 5. Now, before you turn off and, cut me out of your life, hear me out. Let me explain, okay? We don't have a TV license. We got rid of our TV license after we realized that for the past 2 years, nobody had been watching any terrestrial TV. The kids had outgrown CBeebies, which was the only thing that was watched anyway. And we were watching most of our stuff on Amazon Prime and Netflix because it doesn't have any ads or anything like that. So we canceled our TV license, and we're now into our 2nd year of not having a TV license. So I didn't watch the Great British Sewing Bee. So I didn't know that those people were from the Great British Sewing Bee. But my friend Eleanor has told me that she has them recorded on her box, and we're probably going to arrange some time for me to go over and watch them. And so but they were really lovely from what I gathered, because I was talking with them not realizing that they were sewing bee contestant, which was quite interesting because I was fangirling completely over Heather Jacks because I knew that she was in the sewing bee, but I wasn't fangirling because I didn't realize that they were on the sewing bee. But I think that if I had known that they were on the sewing bee, I probably would have been fangirling. Kind of anyway, so that was that. Okay, so I'm gonna answer a question. Did I finish my project? The answer is, this is my project. Still, it is project bag. But I was being super careful because I didn't want to make the same mistakes that I did last time of not paying attention. So I was a little bit serious. So that's okay. I also got help from Lynn, who was also an engineer. She helped me to do like a chamfered corner. Anything, but I'll talk about that more when I show you that thing. But and so we finished up Saturday around 5 o'clock, and then it was time for the grueling drive back home. It was about an hour and a half. I got back home glowing with all of the fun that I'd had, all of the wonderful conversations, and I was just brimming with ideas. My girls saw the goodie bags and they were like, oh, we want to do an unboxing. I was like, okay, cool, you can do that. So they unboxed the stuff for me, and when I actually looked at the things that were in the goodie bag, we got the free sewing patterns. We also got a code to get a free Sew House 7 sewing pattern. So I got the toaster because I've been wanting to get the toaster sewing pattern for a while. And then with Jaylee or Jali or Jaylee, whichever way you pronounce it, we also got one free PDF pattern. So just between those two, that's about 30 pounds already. And then, we got the little scissors, the bird, the vintage stuff and all that. I kind of feel like I got all my money back just from the stuff that I got in the goodie bags. Big shout out to the sponsors. Thank you guys so much for making that possible. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to talk about, the 10K, right? I noticed the other day that I actually got 10K subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing, watching, continuing to like me, sharing this stuff that I share through the camera and then to you onto YouTube. So yeah, so I just, said to Lucy whilst we were at the Stitchroom Sewcial, I was like, hey, would you be interested in doing a giveaway? Because, I want to hook you guys up as well. And, it's my first time doing something like that. And she was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, awesome, And then a little while later, I was like, hey, do you think we could give everybody a discount code? And she was like, yeah, sure. So pretty awesome. So huge thanks to SEWESSENTIAL. Okay, so first of all, for the 10K giveaway, they have agreed to give a £50 voucher. £50 to spend on the SEWESSENTIAL website. On the SEWESSENTIal website. Now, all you got to do to enter. So all you have to do to enter the giveaway is to leave a comment beneath this video in the comments box down below about what you would spend the £50 on if you were to win this giveaway. Okay, and while you're doing that, head on over to the SEWESSENTIal website, have a look at their patterns, machines, haberdashery, and also click on over to their YouTube channel where they give you loads of weekly sewing inspiration videos, tips and tutorials, and Lucy shares some of her favorite fabrics. So absolutely do go check them out. I love their fabric selection. This was from SEWESSENTIal. Ideally, you would already subscribe so that you would know when I announce the winner, because you have until the end of July to enter the giveaway. And then I will announce the winner on the 1st of August, and you will have 1 week to get in touch with me so that we can get the prize to you. Okay, so if you're kind of not subscribed, then you're not going to know when that comes out. You maybe have to set a reminder on your calendar, but it's so much simpler if you just subscribe and turn on the notifications so that you know when I do the big announcement. And it might be you. Okay, so really would love for you to head over to SEWESSENTIal website, have a look around, and tell me what you will be getting from that. Oh, did I forget to mention, we also got a discount code at the Stitchroom Sewcial, and just like last year, I'm buying a few more fabrics. I'll show you some of the fabrics that I'm buying here. Okay, right. So the discount code, because I was like, with the giveaway, that's super fantastic, and one person is going to win the £50. But I was like, what about everybody else? Let's get a discount code for other people. And yeah, like it is SEWESSENTIal, which is like a wonderful place, by the way. They do sell like sewing patterns and sewing machines, haberdashery and stuff. The 10% discount code, all you have to do is use Hila 10K in your checkout box. The code is only valid until the 2nd of July though, and it doesn't apply to like sewing machines, dress forms, or embroidery machines, but everything else is a go. So that's 10% off. Those of you who are on Instagram, SEWESSENTIal is also on Instagram with the handle @SEWESSENTIALUK, so you might want to check them out as well, because Lucy's constantly posting wonderful sewing inspiration content over there. Okay, so that's it, guys. Stitchroom Sewcial 2019 done, amazing, loved it. Looking forward to 2020, hoping they increase the numbers, or they increase the number of days that they do it over. That would be amazing. We have the 10K subscriber giveaway. Again, thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed, liked, commented on the videos. I really do appreciate that. As you all know, this is a one-person show. I'm trying to fit this in around all my family commitments, all of my other, things that I have going on in my life. So I really do appreciate that it's lovely, and I think that one of the best ways to show my appreciation is to continue creating content, and I will continue to do that. I will continue to have fun, I will continue to try new things, and I'll continue to share that with you guys. And yeah, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, do subscribe for new sewing related videos every week, and until I see you next time, happy sewing. Bye.
video for today. It's gonna go onto YouTube. Today we're unboxing a bird.
Okay, what do we have here?
A girl and a bird.
And then what do we have here?
A girl. I've got this.
The fridge magnet.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Yeah.
And I've got this, which is like a real.
Ooh.
That's weird.
That's okay. Oh, what's that?
It's a sewing power for you.
See, it's a poster.
A pen. It opens when you press the button, and then it closes when you press the button again. What's this?
What does it say in it?
Folding bag. I've got
A tea towel.
a tea towel. It's a tea towel.
Yeah.
This is new.
Got the baby lock collection. Yeah. Okay. What else is in there?
What else is in here? Is this. And it comes with this. Holding just like a pin. Got the pin that you push the button and then you push the button again to make it close.
Let's see
I've
what.
got a pen
Let's
as
see.
well.
That's Madeira. Let's see. You got a
Pen.
baby lock pen. And what if you got in the other hand?
What's this? Is it a keychain? Ma. And it has so much blank pages. Very cool. They're golden.
Yeah. Golden scissors.
These are finger bands. And there's this, which is for making this thing. These can be good for cutting. But for okay, this.
Can I have the scissors, please?
No. Oh. I've got a bag for Mama. Oh, a sewing pattern. 2 sewing patterns. You get sewing patterns. Measure. I've got a measure.
I think it's called a quilting hexagon.
It's called a quilting. I've got